I grew up during the 80s and 90s, and the idea of anything to do with AI was terrifying. What could be worse than inventing something which might destroy or enslave the human race? Now, fast forward 40 years, and I think that fear of Skynet, AI, still remains, but maybe for different reasons. However, the truth is AI can help us in so many ways and is littered throughout Canva to allow us to quickly put together high quality teaching and learning resources. On the Canva homepage, there's an option to do Canva AI, and this provides us with a space to describe what we want Canva AI to do for us. I plan to use AI in 3 different ways. Firstly, to fill in the gaps in my knowledge. Secondly, to enhance the teaching resources I already have or I'm in the process of making. And thirdly, I'm going to make a teaching resource by just using a prompt. So firstly, filling in the gaps in my knowledge. So in this area, I can type in a question. So for example, a little bit further down, on my recent chats, I've actually typed in this particular prompt. So can the volume I speak into a microphone be used as an input for a game? And then I've been provided with the answer to that, which is pretty cool. Now, if I come back onto the home area and go back to Canva AI, I can do a search, for example, something along the lines of, why does a microphone... I'm really bad at typing and speaking at the same time. So why does a microphone have a muffler? That's like the fluffy foam thing on the end of it. And I never know why that's on it. So if I hit enter, and it provides me with the answer I need. So I kind of found out a little bit about that. So the second reason I'm using AI is to enhance my teaching resources. So if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see all these different prompts which might get used to generate certain things. So videos, images, etc, etc. So this one here, a city skyline at dusk, if I actually type that into the prompt here, then it would generate images for me. But in this case, if I just click on it, it will then generate images for me to see. And there we go. So they're quite nice actually. Now in my case, I want to generate an image for my gaming development unit where I want to show how proper gaming took place in the arcades. So if I just get rid of image from where I just used the skyline thing and type in 1990s arcades. Now potentially I could make an image, potentially I could do a design, a presentation of some sort. I could do a document, I could do a video clip. But in this case I actually just want an image to be produced. So if I press submit and scroll down slightly, and these are the images which are produced for me, and actually these look really cool. And in fact, I think I'm going to use this one here. So if I actually click on it and go to open an editor, now potentially I could do some more editing within this, but the thing I really want to show you was within projects here, we should now have access to this image to be used everywhere else. So if I go back to the home area and I close that down and I go to my projects, as I scroll down, you'll see that you can't actually see my image in here anyway, but if I refresh the page, and this might not have to happen for you, then as I scroll down, there's my picture there, it's within my recents, and it should now be within my images as well. So this can now be used within anything I make. Now I can do the same while I'm actually building teaching resources, so within my emerging technologies presentation, I'm happy with what I've got on my first page, but if I go onto my second page and then click on elements on the left hand side, I can provide a prompt, and as you can see I've already done a search for 1980s arcades, but I'll just go through that again. Now I'm not going to press submit, I'm actually going to come down to where it says generate images, and just to point out, there are other options here as well. We'll be talking about generating code within the next video, but if I click on generate images, I then get provided with this. So I'm going to click on this one, which will then appear on our page. I'm going to resize it because it's going to go into the corner. And then we're going to look at Magic Write. So I've used AI to generate an image for me, but now we're actually going to use AI to generate some text. So if I click on text, there's an option for Magic Write. And when I click on Magic Write, it's going to ask me, well, what is it you want me to write about? And just to show you, on Try an Example, it kind of gives you different prompts to give you an idea of what to expect or what you need to type in to kind of produce something. Now, I'm actually going to put this text in because I have no chance of typing that out and speaking to it at the same time without making countless spelling mistakes. So I want this to provide me a report on how gaming technologies have developed since the 80s. So if I just press the generate button, and it will generate me a report. So I get a chance to read through this to make sure it's all okay. And when I'm happy, I just press insert and then it will appear on my page. Now I will need to kind of resize this and rejig it around and so on. So it actually fits in nicely and I can increase the font style, font size and so on. But there is this little option here for Magic Write. So if I click on Magic Write, I can make it more fun. So by clicking on that, it's going to rewrite there. And then I think I will have to press something for it to go in. So it just makes it a little bit more suited maybe to my audience. And I'm going to replace it. There is also the option to generate a voice. So I can get a voice to actually read this over. So Henry or Steph, I'm going to use Steph in this case.
The epic saga of gaming tech from the 1980s to...
I'll do. And if I click on generate AI voice, no, not to say you have to do this, but sometimes it's a nice touch to put onto things. And then it will put the audio over slide 2 and slide 3, or pages 2 and 3. So if I press present...
The epic saga of gaming tech from the 1980s to today is like watching a caterpillar...
That's pretty cool. Now, there is an option for you to choose with this as well. So if I actually click on the text and if I go to Magic Write again, for some weird reason, when I come down to change voice, it does say Gemma Collins. So by all means, go and have a look at that yourselves. I'm probably not going to do that on mine. So the third thing I want to show you is actually generating teaching resources just by using the prompt. So if I come back onto the home page and close this down, and on our Canva AI, I'm just going to simply put this prompt in. So again, I'm not going to type all this out because I would make countless mistakes. So produce a presentation showing how input and output devices are used in modern day gaming using our brand colors, icons, images and fonts, please. So this is a little bit of a test read to see if it picks up on the brand colors and the brand fonts and so on, which we have. So I'm just going to press submit and let's see what happens. So right, it's asking me what I want to do. Do I want to have a playful presentation, organic? Well, because it's game development, I'm going to go with digital, which is already chosen there. It's for educational and 5 to 15 pages probably seems right. So I'm going to press submit. And now it's asking me which of our brand kits do we want to use. So I'm actually going to use the official ones. Yes, this come with extra and bits and pieces as well, but this is the one I want to try to do. So let's press submit and let's see what happens. Okay, so it seems to be generating content for us. And as I scroll down, I can check over the content and I can see that that's kind of covering what I wanted to do. So I'm going to click on generate designs. And it's provided me with these designs and it looks as if it's actually brought across the college colours for these as well. So as I go through, I might think I like the look of this one. So, well, actually, I'm going to click on this one because that's the one which is there. It loads up in here. Now, if I click on use Canva editor, and I can go through the presentation, add bits in, check it's all there. And hopefully now, when I go back to projects and I refresh this, I should have... within my recents, the presentation. So I obviously need to rename it. I could have done that here as well, but that's phenomenal. That saved me so much time. So there is one other thing I want to show you. So within my project, I've got this artificial intelligence presentation which I imported in, and I used the college brand colors to update it. But one thing I do want to do on this particular slide, just to show you as an example, I want to translate this into Welsh. So if I click on Ask Canva, and I say, can you translate this to Welsh? And I submit that. Let's see what it does. So it's provided me with different options. So if I'm a Welsh speaker, I can check these through. However, it should really be checked over by the Welsh team within the college, as you would with any other Welsh translations. But if I click on this, I'm just wondering, yes, brilliant. It actually puts the text directly over the text I wanted to translate. That's great. So I think we've covered quite a few of the Canva AI tools. There are others which can be used, but a bit of exploring might need to take place in your Canva adventure. In the next video, we'll be looking at Canva code. I'll be back.